kind of fun. What I didn't know at the time, they didn't tell me, it was kind of an audition that they had at that point had been thinking about doing some type of wrestling segment, maybe not a regular show, but some type of segment. And then about 3 months later, I got a call from them saying, asking if I'd be interested in doing a weekly segment. More importantly, I would actually get money for it. Not a lot, but still, it was like, wow, that makes me a professional broadcaster. Maybe not a broadcaster, but a professional something. They had a nightly segment called Fan TV where they'd have a recap, a couple guests, some in studio, some via phone, and the general rule of thumb was every Tuesday would be wrestling night. I didn't want to burst their bubbles. It's kind of like Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy type of thing. With adults, I had a little less patience, but you run into some people who were just obsessed with wrestling. I remember the exact time frame. I asked them, I said, hey, maybe a radio show. And the thing I used to catch, to try and catch them with it, people won't have to look at my face now. They just hear my nasally voice. Half the torture's gone. As it turns out, there were 2 people working at the station who were wrestling fans, and they had been thinking about starting a wrestling station. Kind of threw the 3 of us together and said, okay, let's give it a shot. So our first guest was a wrestler who I admittedly had never heard of before. His name was Supreme. That was one of my first experiences, like asking questions of a wrestler, me and Chris. I really didn't know anything about this guy, other than the fact that he had been body slammed through a burning table, and he caught on fire. Now, no matter what wrestlers tell you, they really don't want to be caught on fire when they're body slammed through a burning table. Even Supreme, not the Supreme or Supreme Grabowski, Supreme, he had enough humor to recount the story that when the ringside attendants noted that something was amiss, there's a guy with a fire extinguisher, and the guy with the fire extinguisher panicked and started putting the table out first. Meanwhile, Supreme's flesh was charring.